Thank you so much again for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Tina Alton, founder and president at Nations of Women. And of course, we all know the COVID-19 is causing and bringing great economic pressure, hardships, unprecedented times. And the Business Owners Advice Tips and Support Network, the BOAT Network for short, is our little initiative to bring to you as the business owner to help you with valuable information from people that I go to as my experts within my personal network to bring you the best thinking, best advice, and hopefully help you navigate and ride the storm. So I have with me today SHARON SUMNER, who is an amazing genius when it comes to productivity. I'm not going to spoil it for you. So SHARON, please introduce yourself to all the wonderful business owners who are going to be listening to you.
Hi, that's quite an intro. Lovely, thank you. I'm SHARON SUMNER. So I run a group that I call Business Cloud Integration, and we literally do what it says on the tin. So it's a small company, there's about 12 of us, and we look to help businesses with efficiency and productivity, and we do that through Office 365. So to my mind, there's never been such a good platform out there for businesses, large and small. Companies of 5 people can have an infrastructure that would have cost you many millions just 10 years ago. You know, it really is a time of power that everybody can leverage the tools and everybody can be as competitive. So I know things are bleak at the moment, but you know, it's still true that we're on an even playing field with even the biggest of companies who have the biggest of overheads. So think about things as an opportunity. Try and get positive about what we've got here for you, and let's get to some business value and use that tooling that's there.
I love that. So now I can consider myself, I'm on the same playing field as Virgin Atlantic, as Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, all the big shots, you name it. So for a business owner who at this time may well be aware of some of the online tools and things and thinking, how on earth do I continue serving my customers or clients without closing my doors, for example? What are some of the immediate things they need to think about when, you know, in your area of expertise, like cloud, what was the word you used again? Online integration.
Oh, okay. Business cloud integration. Yep.
Business cloud integration. Yeah. So what is the first thing that, you know, obviously that is key. I know that it's quite crucial. It's very important. But for the business owner who hasn't got a clue where to start, how would you advise them to start?
Okay, so for me, it's actually quite simple because an Office 365 subscription takes seconds to actually get live, and you can even get a 30-day trial, so you can try before you buy. And Microsoft are starting, because of the COVID, Microsoft is starting to waive the pricing of a lot of those services. So I would encourage everybody to start with Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft have waived the enterprise fee for 6 months for Teams, which means you can get started really quickly. And Teams is all about the collaboration piece. So think of it as your single pane of glass. You can have channels to have chat in, you can have files there, but the main part about it and the whole thing about business cloud integration is that you're on a single platform and you can access it anywhere. So wherever you go, it's on your phone, it's on your laptop. As long as you've got an internet connection, you've got access to your data. And that's really what we need right now, to be able to send people home or to be able to send people, you know, to quiet private spaces and still be able to have them fundamentally quickly make a decision. Some of the tooling in there is probably too advanced for the smaller business. You've got some automation, some workflow products in there. Again, they're all low-code tools, so they're all really easy. And I've got a whole community behind me of people that are willing to support and people that are putting videos out there. I can give you some good names of, you know, John Levesque, Rory Neary. There's some really simple video tutorials out there to help you get started. And as a community behind the Office 365 products, Microsoft Teams and the Power Platform, we are there to help anybody that wants to get started. And it's really, really strong in terms of a community. So I would say, don't be worried about the technology part of it at all. Just get started, just jump in. Look at Microsoft Teams first and foremost, because that's where you can leverage some benefits, certainly with that free licensing for the next 6 months, and look to get connected. So with my team, we have a morning stand-up. where we're all sitting down.
I like that. Stand up, sit down. The morning stand up, sitting down.
We all put our webcams on and our little headsets, and we talk to each other about what's going on that day. And we round up again at night, and that's just so that we see our faces, you know, once a day, because it's very different working from home. And just to be able to have a little bit of FaceTime with somebody, it gives a little bit of mental relief, so that you feel like, what's the point? You know, that all goes away the moment that you can have this kind of face-to-face. I mean, Zoom is a good tool too, but I think Microsoft Teams, the way that it integrates with the whole Office 365 suite, you've got SharePoint in there, and like I say, all of these tools, it's a winner for me, and it's free.
Wonderful. So I love that. I think it brings hope to, you know, the business owner thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to shut my doors. I've got to send all my teams home. And you've just brought that, you know, glimpse of hope that actually, yes, your staff can still be at home, but this tool, Office 3, I've heard of Office 365. I have to confess, I've been in business 20 years now, and I don't use Office 365. I use Zoom. I have Microsoft Word, or, you know, the suite on my laptop, but never really have actually thought about the Office 365. So that's really cool, and cool to actually learn, to know as well that actually it brings all the various integration from files, because I was beginning to think, okay, teams are going to be home. These are some of the questions that we've got in, you know, in my teams are going to be home. Their files that will be confidential. How do I manage those things? But I think you've answered that in terms of there's the section to put files.
Yeah, I mean, no more VPN. You literally just need an internet connection and some good security behind you. So a little bit of advice on governance. Again, loads of videos out there. But even out of the box, Office 365 is secure by design. So if you just wanted to get started, you've got that security for you. You've got Outlook automatically integrated. When you go to attach files, it knows the locations where you keep files. I cannot go on enough about how integrated the platform is, and it's a single platform. So, you know, it's just going to be easy.
Wonderful. So what is the magic word on the lips of Sharon? If you're thinking about the typical business owner, you know, anywhere up to, let's say, 200,000, you know, pounds, dollars, euros as their revenue benchmark, and we're getting what they call a request for support up to the 500, you know, thousand mark as well. And they're thinking of, for the first time, they're going to be operating completely digital based, where teams are not, you know, in close proximity with each other, and there is so much anxiety, uncertainty around what to do. But you've given us this big tool. What is the next step from once they've set up here? How can they get the best out of a product like Office 365?
Well, there's lots and lots of video content and information that you can get. You can even get a training portal that you can deliver directly into your environment to help you learn access to the various tools. I mean, most people know kind of Word and Excel, so generally it's a very similar way of doing it. But if anybody wants to reach out, I'll quite happily do an art of the possible session and talk you through each of the tools. It's absolutely fine, because, you know, if you can leverage stuff that is just in the back of my head doing nothing, that's absolutely fine. But it is just about jump in, get started. You will be amazed at how easy it is, especially this kind of size organization where you're looking at somewhere sort of between 5 and up to maybe 20 or 30 people. It's really fast-paced, close-knit. You're going to make decisions. You're going to be flexing all of the time. So it's much more of an agile organization where you just need to ping somebody and say, quick chat, 5 minutes, need a decision. And that's really what this tooling is designed for.
Wonderful. And is this a tool that is, what do you call it, usable irrespective of geography?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we deal with organizations that are massively globally dispersed, you know, offices all over the world. And the Microsoft infrastructure is one of the biggest. So, you know, you've got that trust in the background.
Wonderful. I love that. So it's irrespective of geography, you can still get the same level of service, productivity, security. That's brilliant. What about industry? Does it cut across different industries, or is there some industries that it won't quite be the right tool for them?
Okay, so the restrictions are really about the public facing of data. So this is for people that are going to log in. So think about where you need to log in to get access to that data. And you do only log in once, which is the genius of it. But it's not a website. Yeah, this is not for pushing data to the general public. That's what this is for. Yeah, this is for the back end. So we've got Office 365 Teams, we've got Dynamics 365 for keeping all of your kind of customer data. Again, that's dependent on the size of your organization, quite how much of each of those that you need. But it is more about working together as a team in you know, where you're passing confidential data to each other without it going outside of your environment. So it's a complete secure, it's an online file server, if you like, with chat, etc., all under the same security rules. So it's a secure place for the business to be operating, but it's public facing as such. And that's kind of the real distinction that is important to make. Especially where we talk about power apps and the ability to push out applications on people's phones to be able to enter data, it's still really for the logged in user fundamentally. So it is business use, it's not public use. That's all I would say.
Okay, beautiful. So, you know, if a business owner is thinking, oh my gosh, you know, but what if another customer or client or patient gets it? That's not possible. It's only for, it's like the staff room, if you will, of the business. Is that where the real fun stuff happens?
Yeah, it is the business system. So it's not your website. That's the difference to think about it on.
Okay.
You can do all of those kind of things, but you're into how do I do it? Licensing nightmare. Don't get that complicated. You know, use it for what it's good at, which is the back end systems, the chat, and the team collaboration. Use WordPress for something that's public facing.
Okay, wonderful. So it's really team collaboration. So Sharon, we have we've been speaking to Macedonia, Chamber of Commerce Macedonia, Serbia, African Union, passing information through to my African people. What is the magic word on the lips of Sharon for the business owner who is like, I don't know, what is the magic word for them that can help to bring sanity, that can help give them hope, and that can help stay afloat?
Ask for help. Yeah, we're there. We have an online community. We have something called Power Addicts. We have lots and lots of technology enthusiasts that are there for you. Twitter is usually where we hang out, maybe on LinkedIn. You might not find as much support on Facebook, for example, but there are still quite a lot of us that are on Facebook. But largely, Twitter seems to be the platform that makes most sense. So just ask your question. It doesn't even matter if it's a silly question. We are there. We will answer it. We now have groups of us getting together to help those organisations that are helping COVID sufferers, you know, public-facing organisations where we're volunteering to build apps and to build systems for them. You know, it's an incredibly generous and genuine community that will help you. Just ask.
Wonderful. I love that. And I think it's something that, you know, majority of the authentic leaders are saying, this is not the time to put your head in the sand. This is the time to ask for help. And I love the fact that, you know, there's a whole community out there that are genuinely wanting and willing to help, you know, businesses. I was on a call just before speaking to yourself with an expert on digital marketing. And one of the advice he gave was, you know, people should review what apps they have subscription to that they're possibly not using and getting rid of it. Now I'm thinking, and this is where your genius comes in. So, you know, somebody may have a CRM, they would have a scheduling tool for their content distribution, all of those things. Should they be possibly considering Office 365 to manage that as one central point, or do they need, when you have Office 365, do you need other applications as well?
I guess so. Applications are good at what they're good at. Okay, so Office 365 isn't Twitter. Yeah, so it can't.
Yes.
Yeah, but there is a connector. So we have a Power Automate connector so that we can write a flow that says if I put something in this SharePoint list and I hit approve, it will push it out to Twitter for you. So those connectors exist. So
right.
Business cloud integration, it's about integrating all of those tools together. We have somewhere in the region of 300 plus connectors to different businesses MailChimp, Twitter, all of these things have different connectors where we can automate centrally. So secured central automation authenticated to the apps, which means you can still leverage the apps and the data within them, but you do it in a controlled, secure environment. That's really the benefit.
Beautiful. I love that. So, if somebody is supposed to be using, let's say, Hootsuite, write it all, and then the different manager has to go and read and approve all of those before it pushes out. All that can be managed in Office 365. I'm just thinking of how can organization or companies or business owners keep their team talking and, being collaborative with each other, so there is not although we're socially distancing ourselves, so that closeness, that bond can be maintained.
Again, so video calls are really important, that face-to-face. And I do use it every day. I look at my team and see if they've got, are they getting paler? Everybody coughing, what's going on? But we have a bit of a laugh and a joke, and you can't really do that without seeing each other's face. Yeah, so that connection still stays there. Don't get me wrong, I am worried that 6 weeks plus, or whatever it is that we're looking at home, is going to start to affect the bond of my team. That does worry me. I'm not sure what we can do other than to keep a sense of humor. We have a channel within one of our teams that is specifically dedicated to funny stuff that people find. So we keep a sense of humor. Now, if you're not in the mood for something funny, just don't go to the channel, right? But if you need cheering up, people, the members of the team will put a picture of their cute dog or cat up for you just to cheer you up. Yeah, so we're genuinely there for each other, and I think you need to make sure that you've got that transparency and that bond. So I'm lucky that I have a team that all like each other. But
that's always helpful.
I do think you need a buddy. You at least need a buddy that you can talk to, that you can just get on a voice call with or a video call and say, I'm having a bad day. And it's that honesty and that transparency that will help you survive. It's not the time to say, I can't possibly open myself up to people, because you will suffer if you have that mindset. Just be open, and you'll be surprised how people react.
Wonderful. I love that. So to wrap up, Office 365 is a really solid, robust system that can help manage the back office or back end of your business. There are some really good tutorial videos out there that can help you in terms of how to set up. But if you do need that help with setup, please contact us. We will put you in direct contact with Sharon. Actually, her details will be at the end of this video as well, so that you can contact her for that help as well. And what I love about Office 365, you mentioned, Sharon, is that it's secure by design, and that it really doesn't matter, in terms of where you are located geographically. But I think one thing you mentioned is obviously where somebody is logging in needs to be like a secure, maybe not a hotel Wi-Fi sort of thing, or public. Well, people can't go to cafes, but sometimes you can't control people's behavior if they're actually distancing themselves. So that's really the one side, is that where and how you're logging in. But after that one time, it's good. And I also love the piece you talked about, like, team collaboration, that it really helps the team bond and, keep that bond. Even though still there might be some uncertainties around how long can we go without seeing each other and all of those. But I think to have a central place where you can all meet together and see each other face to face and still maintain that level of transparency, if you will, and openness with each other, I think will help maintain, that team dynamics there. And then for me, the best part is being your magic word is ask for help, because really it's quite scary times, if you will. But asking for help is the way to go. So I love that. And I think when we implement 365, we're definitely going to have the funny channel for funnies. I'll tell my husband, he runs a podiatry clinic. So obviously he's in the key worker sector. So he still has to go in and see, high risk patients from that perspective. So I think there'll be plenty of funnies on feet that will be in the channel there. But please, if you have any questions or any help, anything that makes you doubts, like your next move, as far as moving your team from the office to something as robust as Office 365, please reach out. We will connect you to Sharon, who will be happy and willing to help you and to get you set up. So Sharon, before we go, the magic wand is in your hand. If you can wave the wand on coronavirus and and getting businesses digital, what are you going to say?
Wow, that's a difficult one. If I could wave a magic wand, wow, that is really tough. I'm not quite sure how to answer that. Just make it all go away.
Exactly. Corona, no corona. I think Office 365 is a robust tool that really, I'm now beginning to fully understand that if we're looking as a single business continuity tool, that would help maintain productivity. I believe it would be the 365.
It works just as well when you're all in the same office too. So if things ever do get back to normal, then we'll be fine.
Absolutely. So thank you so much again for your time, and it's been wonderful having you on the Bolt Network as one of our experts, and all the details you would need to connect with Sharon will be at the end of this video.